What if I told you there are plants that can feed you forever without endless replanting, watering, or exhausting garden chores? Imagine setting up a garden once and harvesting for years. Today, I'll reveal 9 amazing forever foods every lazy gardener should grow. These plants don't just survive, they thrive, giving you harvests with almost no effort. If you've ever dreamed of fresh food on autopilot, you don't want to miss this. Welcome back to Archon Aesthetic Studio, where we bring you the most inspiring and practical garden ideas to transform your backyard into a paradise. If you love simple gardening hacks, sustainable living tips, and creative landscaping inspiration, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Tell me which of these forever foods you'd love to grow in your own garden. One, artichokes, exotic yet low maintenance. Artichokes may look like something exotic from a fine dining restaurant, but they're surprisingly easy to grow once established. As a perennial, artichokes thrive year after year, producing those beautiful globe buds without the need for constant replanting. The key is patience in the first season. They take time to settle, but once rooted, you'll enjoy bountiful harvests with very little care. Plant them in a sunny spot with well-draining soil, and give them space to spread their large, silver-green leaves. These plants can grow quite tall, making them not just a food source, but also a striking ornamental feature in your garden. Harvest the buds while they're still tight and firm. Wait too long, and they'll open into stunning purple thistle flowers. Here's the lazy gardener's secret. Once your artichokes are happy, they'll return every season with minimal effort. All you really need to do is cut them back after harvest and let nature do the rest. It's like having a gourmet vegetable garden on autopilot. Two, rhubarb, dessert favorite with zero fuss. Rhubarb is one of those magical plants that practically grows itself, year after year, with very little care required. Once planted, it will keep sending up thick red stalks each spring, making it a perfect forever food for the lazy gardener. All it asks for is a sunny or partly shaded spot and soil that drains well. The best part? Rhubarb is a powerhouse for sweet treats. From classic pies and crumbles to homemade jams, its tart flavor pairs beautifully with sugar and fruit. Just remember, only the stalks are edible. The leaves contain oxalic acid and should be discarded. In terms of maintenance, rhubarb is forgiving. Mulch it in the winter, harvest only a third of the stalks at a time, and it will keep coming back stronger each season. Once established, a single plant can produce for over a decade. That means 10+ years of spring desserts without lifting a finger to replant. For gardeners who want maximum results with minimal effort, rhubarb delivers. It's low maintenance, highly productive, and a guaranteed crowd pleaser in the kitchen. Three, walking onions, the plant that replants itself. Walking onions are one of the most fascinating forever foods you can grow. Unlike regular onions that need replanting each season, walking onions take care of the job for you. They produce small clusters of bulbs, called tops, at the ends of their stalks. As these tops get heavy, the stalk bends down to the ground, and the bulbs root themselves, essentially walking across your garden bed. This self-propagating cycle means you'll never have to buy onion sets again. Once you establish a patch, it continues expanding, year after year, with almost no effort. You can harvest the green shoots in spring as you would with scallions, or wait until summer to pull the underground bulbs for cooking. The flavor is sharper than a regular onion, making them excellent for soups, stir-fries, and pickling. And because the plant is so resilient, it thrives in poor soils, survives harsh winters, and bounces back with minimal attention. For the lazy gardener, walking onions are the ultimate hands-free crop. They literally replant themselves. All you need to do is enjoy the harvest and let them walk their way through your garden. Four, Sunchokes, the hidden treasure tubers. Sunchokes, also known as Jerusalem artichokes, are one of the most underrated forever foods you can grow. At first glance, the plants look like cheerful sunflowers, with tall stalks and bright yellow blooms. But the real treasure lies underground, clusters of knobby tubers that taste nutty and slightly sweet, often compared to water chestnuts or potatoes. What makes sunchokes perfect for lazy gardeners is how vigorously they grow. Once planted, they spread quickly and return every year without needing replanting. In fact, the challenge isn't getting them to grow, it's keeping them from taking over your garden. That's why many gardeners dedicate a separate bed or container to manage their spread. Sunchokes are incredibly versatile in the kitchen. Roast them like potatoes, mash them, or slice them raw into salads for a crunchy bite. They're rich in inulin, a type of fiber that supports gut health, making them a healthy addition to your meals. With minimal care, just sunlight and average soil, sunchokes will reward you with endless harvests. Plant once, and you'll dig up these golden nuggets for years to come. A true hidden gem for effortless food security. Five, Sorrel, the tangy perennial green. Sorrel is one of the easiest and most rewarding perennial greens you can add to your garden. Unlike spinach or lettuce that bolt and fade quickly, sorrel comes back year after year, offering fresh tangy leaves with almost no maintenance. Its lemony flavor makes it a perfect addition to salads, soups, and sauces, adding a refreshing kick that store-bought greens just can't match. Growing sorrel is effortless. Once established, it tolerates poor soils, survives cold winters, and thrives in partial shade or full sun. The leaves regenerate quickly after harvesting, so you can pick a handful whenever you need without worrying about hurting the plant. In fact, regular harvesting encourages new tender growth. For the lazy gardener, sorrel is a dream come true. Plant it once, and you'll have a never-ending supply of greens for years. It's one of those crops that bridges the gap between culinary creativity and garden simplicity. Whether tossed into an omelette or blended into a zesty soup, sorrel is a reliable forever food that keeps your kitchen stocked with fresh flavor almost on autopilot. 6. Asparagus, a harvest that lasts for decades. Asparagus is the ultimate definition of a long-term investment for any lazy gardener. While it requires a bit of patience at the beginning, the payoff is extraordinary. Once established, an asparagus bed can keep producing for 20 years or more with very little maintenance. Plant it once, and you'll enjoy fresh spring harvests for decades. The first 2 years are all about letting the plants establish deep roots. You'll need to resist the temptation to harvest too much early on, but once the 3rd year arrives, asparagus starts delivering abundant spears each spring. The plants are incredibly hardy and thrive in sunny spots with well-drained soil. After harvest season, they grow into tall, fern-like foliage that helps recharge the crown for next year's crop. Harvesting asparagus couldn't be simpler. Just snap the spears when they're about 6 to 8 inches tall and tender. With proper care, they'll keep coming for several weeks each season. After that, the plants rest and prepare for the next cycle. For the gardener who values low effort and long rewards, asparagus is unmatched. It's the gift that keeps on giving, a gourmet vegetable on near-permanent repeat. Seven. Perennial kale, a leafy green powerhouse. Most people think of kale as an annual that needs replanting every season, but perennial kale is here to prove them wrong. This hardy variety provides nutrient-rich greens all year long, with no need to reseed or start fresh each spring. Once established, it continues producing for several years, making it one of the most reliable forever foods for your garden. The plant grows tall and bushy, and you can keep harvesting the outer leaves while the central stem keeps pushing out fresh growth. Unlike annual kale, perennial varieties resist pests better and adapt to varying climates, from mild winters to hot summers. With just a little compost or mulch now and then, they thrive without fuss. In the kitchen, perennial kale is as versatile as its annual cousin, perfect for salads, sautés, soups, or even crispy kale chips. Because it's always available, you'll never run short of fresh greens. For the lazy gardener, perennial kale is a true powerhouse. It's tough, productive, and endlessly useful. Plant it once, care for it lightly, and let it feed you season after season. Eight. Horseradish, bold flavor that spreads itself. Horseradish is one of those crops that seems almost too good to be true for the lazy gardener. Plant it once, and it will keep coming back year after year with almost no attention. Known for its fiery kick, horseradish root adds bold flavor to sauces, dressings, and pickles, making it a culinary staple for anyone who loves strong, zesty tastes. The plant itself is incredibly hardy. With broad leaves that thrive in full sun or partial shade, horseradish grows vigorously even in less than perfect soil. In fact, it can spread quickly, which is both a blessing and a challenge. Many gardeners choose to contain it in a dedicated bed or a large container to prevent it from taking over. Harvesting is simple. Dig up the roots in fall or early spring when the flavor is strongest. Even if you miss some small root pieces, they'll regrow into new plants, ensuring a never-ending supply. For gardeners who prefer plants that practically care for themselves, horseradish is unbeatable. It's resilient, self-renewing, and brings a fiery spark to your kitchen, all without demanding much from you. Nine, mint, the unstoppable herb. Mint is the very definition of a forever food. Once it's in your garden, it never wants to leave. This fragrant herb grows so vigorously that many gardeners actually plant it in pots or raised containers to keep it from taking over entire beds. But for the lazy gardener, that unstoppable growth is a gift. Plant it once, and you'll have an endless supply of fresh leaves for years. From soothing teas and refreshing drinks to sauces, desserts, and even savory dishes, mint is one of the most versatile herbs you can grow. Its bright flavor instantly elevates a simple recipe, and having it right outside your door means you'll never need to buy bunches from the store again. Mint thrives in almost any condition: sun or shade, rich soil or average ground. Regular harvesting keeps it bushy and prevents it from getting too wild, but even neglect won't stop it from thriving. Just snip what you need, and the plant bounces back quickly with fresh new growth. For gardeners who want maximum reward with minimal effort, mint is unbeatable. It's refreshing, resilient, and practically impossible to kill. The ultimate lazy gardener's herb. Propagation hacks. Multiply your forever foods for free. One of the best-kept secrets of lazy gardening is learning how to propagate your plants. In other words, multiplying them without spending a dime. Many forever foods practically give you the tools to expand your garden on their own. Walking onions drop their tops to create new plants. Mint sends runners underground, and horseradish regrows from leftover root scraps. With just a little awareness, you can turn a single plant into an entire patch. For more controlled propagation, simple techniques go a long way. Divide asparagus crowns every few years to create new beds. Cut a stem from perennial kale or mint, place it in a glass of water, and in a couple of weeks you'll see roots forming. Once planted, these new starts will grow just like the parent plant. Even artichokes and rhubarb respond well to division, rewarding you with multiple plants for the price of one. Propagation not only saves money but also strengthens your food security. By expanding your stock, you create a more resilient garden that keeps feeding you year after year. It's like duplicating your harvest on autopilot, the ultimate lazy gardener's upgrade. Harvesting hacks. Get more, waste less. Harvesting might sound simple, but the way you pick your crops can make the difference between a one-time yield and a continuous supply. For lazy gardeners, the secret is in harvesting smart, encouraging plants to keep producing without wearing them out. Take asparagus, for example. Snap the spears when they're about 6 to 8 inches tall, and stop harvesting after a few weeks to allow the plant to recharge. Kale and sorrel reward selective picking. Remove only the outer leaves, and the plant will keep pushing fresh growth from the center. Rhubarb works the same way. Twist and pull a few stalks at a time instead of cutting them all down. For herbs like mint, regular trimming is key. Frequent snipping not only provides you with fresh flavor for your dishes, but also keeps the plant from becoming leggy or invasive. Walking onions can be enjoyed two ways. Harvest the greens in spring or wait for the underground bulbs later in the season. By mastering these small harvesting hacks, you'll maximize yields, reduce waste, and keep your forever foods thriving for years. The garden works for you, not the other way around. Lifestyle impact, gardening that works for you. Lazy gardening isn't about neglect. It's about working smarter, not harder. By choosing forever foods, you're creating a system where the garden does most of the work for you. Imagine stepping outside your door and harvesting asparagus in spring, mint for your summer drinks, or kale and sorrel for a quick dinner, all without the exhausting cycle of digging, planting, and replanting each season. This approach is more than convenience. It's a lifestyle shift. Growing perennial crops reduces grocery bills, cuts down on waste, and builds a sense of food security. Once these plants take root, they'll keep providing for years, often decades, with only occasional care. That means less time bent over weeding and watering, and more time enjoying your garden as a sanctuary. There's also a deeper joy in knowing your garden is self-renewing. Each season brings familiar harvests, but also the surprise of abundance without effort. For busy families, retirees, or anyone craving simplicity, Forever Foods offer peace of mind and fresh flavor in one package. The lazy gardener's secret isn't laziness at all. It's choosing wisely, planting once, and reaping the rewards for years to come. Seedling. And there you have it, the lazy gardener's secret to growing food that keeps on giving. With these 9 forever foods, plus a few smart hacks, you'll save time, money, and effort while enjoying harvest after harvest. Gardening doesn't have to be hard work. It can be effortless and deeply rewarding. If this video inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more garden makeovers, DIY hacks, and sustainable ideas. Share this with a friend who needs an easier way to garden, and let me know in the comments. Which of these forever foods will you plant first? Until next time, happy gardening!